put a fighter in your corner.
And once again, thank you so much for joining us. We are delighted to see you. Well, we're delighted to have you watching us because we can't really technically see you, but you can see us.
They don't know that.
They don't know that? Oh, hey,
I've always wondered if people can really see me on the TV. That ever bothered you?
I hadn't thought about it till you just said
Drunk
something about
again.
it. Yeah. That's what Beyonce, what, Drunken Love?
Yeah.
Don't they have a song, Drunken Love or something like that? You don't know. We'll look it up after the show.
I can't confess to
You can't
knowing
confess.
that.
I got you. Man, how are you, man?
I'm great. I'm doing good. Spring, a little chilly this morning. Very chilly early this morning. Didn't stop me from being barefoot, though.
Yeah, you got on your flip-flops, and I got on my Jesus sandals.
Yeah.
That's what you want to call
We
them.
were ready for spring.
Exactly.
And summer.
And it just came out of nowhere. Wind blowing and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was chilly.
You got your hat matching your vest,
Yeah,
and then the little writing matching your shirt.
Maybe knocked the glare off the TV screen.
So
What's this, a veil hat? Yeah, it's a veil hat.
Hold on, veil?
Veil.
Okay, so you're breaking the veil? Oh, so nothing has to do with the Easter, when the veil was broken,
No.
Christ and all that. Ain't none of that?
No. I just grabbed the hat on the way out this morning because it was kind of chilly. And
So
my bald head.
So you did grab a hat that matched your clothes, or you
I
grabbed the
did.
hat first?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we had a little
I did notice it matched up.
matched up.
Yeah.
Okay. And April said something about us matching clothes, but
Yeah.
I won't get involved with that. It just happens. Like Forrest Gump say, it happens.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You have a good Easter, man?
I did. I went to a wedding in Birmingham on Saturday, and Easter morning got up and visited my 87-year-old aunt in a nursing home up there.
Mm-hmm.
And had a great visit with her. She was very mentally alert, which
Okay,
was
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Then came home and went to eat.
What did you eat? Did somebody cook it for you?
No, we because we were going out of town, we didn't plan on cooking. And we were just glad that someplace was open. Jimmy Nick's was open, so we went and had deviled eggs and chicken wings for my Easter.
Okay, chicken wings.
Brunch,
All right.
lunch.
All right, well, that's good.
It was good.
Family, everybody doing well?
Everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing good.
So when you went to see your aunt, did you have to go through any particular? Did you have to wear a mask when you
Had to wear a mask.
Okay.
It's right up across the street, basically from Sanford University in Birmingham.
Okay.
Real nice place, assisted living.
Okay.
And they made us wear a mask, and but it was, there were no other visitors there that morning. I guess we were about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And it was really a good visit. I'm glad I did that. You never know when it's going to be your last time to visit somebody, so I wanted to make sure we got it done. And I drugged my girlfriend with me, and
hey, you're a lawyer. You might need to change that statement.
yeah, drug wouldn't be good.
Two ways.
I took, and she was kind enough to go with me and take pictures of me and Aunt Phyllis, and Phyllis loved meeting her too. I actually called her by her name 4 or 5 times. That's when I knew she was mentally alert.
Okay.
It was good. Good visit.
Well, good. Good.
Did you have a good Easter?
I did. Actually, my son had some tournaments. He had to play in Saturday, so I had to take him to meet my brother. My brother lives in Covington. Mm-hmm. He's alive Friday and Saturday night, so I couldn't do that.
Right.
So
how'd that go?
Oh, and great.
Good.
2 large crowds on both nights.
Oh, great.
And I was amazed. I left LaGrange around 2:15 on Sunday to pick him up in Covington. I was amazed at the amount of traffic that was on the road on an Easter Sunday. I mean, going there and going back. I'm like,
I've come back.
What in the world?
I've come back from the beach on I-85 before on Easter, and I never will do that again. Now, if I go to the beach, I wait till Monday when everybody else is supposed to be back home.
That's a good idea.
I mean, it gets crowded. You're just inching down the interstate, and even with no wrecks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I got
a
taste a little bit of that.
Yeah.
All right. Walton Law Firm. Trip Walton. What do you do at the Walton Law Firm?
We do.
We do
whatever we want to do. No.
Yep.
We do primarily personal injury and wrongful death cases that normally occur in car wrecks and truck wrecks and truck-on-truck wrecks. We're doing more and more truck-on-trucks because it's so crowded out there.
Okay.
We do dog bites. We look at we look at a lot of other stuff too. We'll farm it out to other law firms to take care of it because we sort of have a little boutique practice where we try to do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We do, you know, I'm probably handling anywhere from 15 to 25 DUIs at any one time in 4 or 5 cities.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of drug felony cases.
Okay.
I had a call today of a big wax case coming in. People may not know what wax is. Every time I get one, I'm thinking, what is this?
What is this? What is this?
But it's a marijuana product.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, we're staying real busy. We're looking at hiring some paralegals. So if anybody's a paralegal with any experience and you're looking for a job in the Auburn area, call us at 334-321-3000. And I hadn't decided if I'm going to hire another lawyer yet or not. It's just probably will have to, but we hadn't decided yet. It's nice now that I'm shy 2 lawyers and 1 paralegal and the overhead dropped. It's sort of nice not to have to, you know, I mean, you know, my payroll taxes dropped, my Blue Cross Blue Shield amount dropped, everything dropped. So it's nice just, you know, I'm having to work a lot more, but you know,
right.
What the heck, that's what I'm built to pay for.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out, I probably got to wait till autopsy come back, on why the driver a few weeks ago was going northbound in the southbound lane?
I have not heard.
You had not heard?
I have not heard. That would be interesting to know.
Okay.
I can only assume that he or she was on something that you're not supposed to be on when you're driving.
That's what I was telling my son again. I said, and I tell him all the time, be very, very careful. These guys, the more routes, the more ground they cover, the more money they make. Oh, yeah. And some of them be trying not to go to sleep.
Or he could have just been, you know, asleep and made the wrong turn while they were sleeping and didn't pay attention. Because there wasn't anybody out there on the highway until all of a sudden here's an 18-wheeler.
Wow.
Coming the right way.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh.
It's scary. It's really scary.
All right, we got some Auburn gymnastics to talk about. I think that's why you wore your outfit there, the little Auburn orange.
We tried to put Frissy and her daughter flew out to Fort Worth,
okay.
My office manager, and she'd never been out there before. She didn't know it was a sort of a rich cowboy town. They had rodeos, everybody had the cowboy hats, the cowboy boots. She's talking about buying this, but I said, let me just tell you, when you get back to Auburn, the cowboy boots, although I wear cowboy boots all the time, that's one of my main things I wear, but I said, wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, you're going to feel a little bit stupid, even though Auburn's an agricultural school, you know, because it ain't Fort Worth.
No, it ain't.
But they had a big time, and they went to the gym meets, they went to rodeos, they rode, she had a picture of herself on a longhorn steer with horns 15 miles long. Her daughter loved the place, and so they had a good time, and you know, Auburn did not win. We had 2 SEC teams in the top 4, Auburn and Florida, but Oklahoma won it all. I saw where Oklahoma's girls softball team, though, there was something like 54, 55 and 0.
Lost in a long time.
They're fun to watch in the World Series, just about every year.
Okay. I guess I got to get into the softball.
I love fast pitch. It's my favorite sport. I like it better than football, fast pitch softball.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. I might need to watch it a little longer to see if...
It's very, very exciting, very fast game.
Okay.
So, it's fun.
So
when you watch a good team.
How did Suni do?
You know, I saw where she came in first in something.
Okay.
Let me see if my notes make a note of that.
Okay.
Suni Lee won first place in individual beam and second place all-around gymnast.
Okay.
So there's somebody better than Suni out there, at least on this particular tournament,
right.
this day and age.
Okay.
But,
okay.
She's about as strong as it gets, though. She was fun to watch. I
Great.
watched several of the matches in Auburn this year. It was fun.
Great.
We need to remind everybody that the Alabama driver's license offices will be closed for a system-wide update across the entire state this week. This includes any online activities such as accident reports, renewing driver's license, etc. In other words, we are shut down for business in Alabama if it has anything to do with driver's license.
Okay.
Period. Or crash reports.
All righty.
Looks like Auburn baseball is doing pretty good. Second place in the SEC West, 4th place overall in the SEC. Of course, Ole Miss is number 1. I don't know where Mississippi State is. They won the whole thing last year. I would have figured somebody would have mentioned them, but Whoever did my
It might
paperwork
be acting like
did.
the Braves.
It could be. Could be. I still can't get over the Braves sending what's his face, Freddie, out to Los Angeles. It just don't look right.
He hit a home run against last night.
Every time I see him in the Dodger uniform, I think, what are you doing? It's
Exactly.
like Halloween. You got on.
Wow, he's there for real, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. Him of all people.
It really is.
Wow.
I thought he was with Atlanta forever. Now, a federal judge in Florida has struck down, everybody want to know this, has struck down the Biden administration mask mandate on airlines.
Okay.
So, there won't be no screaming and hollering and fighting and fussing anymore, at least in Florida,
Okay.
on having to wear it, because you don't have to wear it.
You don't have to wear it.
The federal court says you don't. And they know what they're talking about. Apparently, he ruled on that. He said the federal judge said the mandate was unlawful because it exceeded the statutory authority of the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and because its implementation violated administrative law.
And we just now figuring that out, huh?
And just now figuring that out after we've been fighting over it for about 2 or 3 years, but apparently it just got to where it needed to be ruled on, so he or she ruled on it.
Okay. Right, you can just override the president, huh?
Yeah. You know, the president, bless his heart.
Uh-huh.
I mean.
Yeah, bless all of them.
I mean.
I pray for them all the time.
Well, that's good.
Especially Vladimir Putin.
they need it.
Yes, yes.
It's just pitiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing we're doing as well as we're doing, quite frankly.
Right.
If I'm sitting over there in China or Russia and I'm thinking, would it be a good time to make a run on America? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they can stand up to us.
Right.
And that's sad.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't say much for our... Here, I sound like an old person talking about generation, you know. It's like my daddy used to talk about Elton John and the Beatles. My Lord. You know, I mean, hey, I thought they were the clean cut ones.
Okay, okay.
Could have been the Grateful Dead and Led Zeppelin.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah. Well,
all right.
we're going to do a little
Motivate us.
motivation.
Motivate us, Lady of Mercy.
The motivation statement today is, see the invisible and do the impossible. George Bernard Shaw said, some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not? Those who can see invisible can do the impossible. And you know, you think about that, well, that doesn't really make any sense. That doesn't apply to anything. Well, it does. Think about inventing the light bulb. There were no light bulbs when the first one was invented. How about inventing the phone where you're talking over a wire and your voice is coming out on the other end? The internet. Your words are coming out on the end. Pictures coming out of there. I mean, I'm still fascinated with who figures how to do that.
Out. Exactly.
You know, inventing electricity. Benjamin Franklin out there with a kite with a key on it. Of course, it fired him up when it hit him, but he knew he had something to talk about. But there are a lot of things that, you know, people envision and invent, like every day with drugs that I take for Parkinson's. People take stuff for cancer.
Right.
Chemo, radiation, heart stuff. People take every day. Well, those things were not even on the planet, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So it really does make sense when you apply it to the real world. Now, what are we going to talk about?
All right, hey, it's a question for Trip.
Oh, Lord.
You know who Trip is? Yeah, you know who Trip is.
I know the man.
Got a question. This is a question for Trip. And it comes from Anonymous. No, Anonymous.
That means it's a serious question.
Okay. Yeah, they don't. Anyway, I am planning a graduation party for my son because he is graduating from Columbus State University.
Congratulations on that part.
Congratulations. He is at the legal age of 21. And we are going to serve alcohol.
Ooh.
Will I be responsible for his friends if something happens after they leave my house?
Well, I don't want to rain on the parade.
Okay.
But you very well could be. But let me just I got a little outline here. I actually went to the law books. And I had one of these one time in Georgia. And in Georgia is almost different than any other state in the country on this law. And it's different from Alabama, and I'll explain the differences. You know, when let's say what victims. Well, let's talk about stores, bars, liquor stores, and social hosts, sort of all together.
Okay.
if alcohol was served to a negligent driver by the bar, restaurant, retail establishment, or social host, that's the first thing. You have a driver who causes a wreck by running a stop sign and hitting somebody and hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. The server knowingly served alcohol to a minor under 21 years. Now, if you're having a party for 21-year-olds, you're going to have 20 and 18 and 19-year-old kids there.
Yes.
So are you going to check their driver's license, check their IDs? Because if you serve them and they're under 21, or if they're 21 or older and they're noticeably intoxicated, this could be proven by showing the server knew or should have known the person was intoxicated. That's step number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 is the server had knowledge that the intoxicated minor or person was going to be driving soon after serving the alcohol. And the last one is the intoxicated minor or person caused your injuries. Now, the big deal here is number 3, excuse me.
Okay.
The server had knowledge that the intoxicated minor or person was going to be driving soon after serving him alcohol. Not knew or should have known that they knew. Well, how are you going to prove that?
Right.
Let's say you're in a restaurant and you're serving alcohol and there's 25 people having a graduation party. You don't know who drove and who didn't drive.
No, you don't.
They could all been in the bus. They could all be in, 4 or 5 in a car. They could have a designated driver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost impossible to prove. In Alabama, we don't have that step.
Okay.
If you serve somebody that's under 21, alcohol, and they injure somebody, it's you know what.
You don't know what. You don't know what.
Or if you serve somebody that is obviously drunk, that's obviously been overserved, and they injure somebody, it's you know what.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to show that you knew that they were going to drive. And again, it's not knew or should have known. Should have known is a little lighter,
Exactly.
deal. But you got to show that the owner of the home who's serving the alcohol knew that Billy Bob was going to go get in the car. And how would you know that?
Right.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know that.
So it is dangerous to do it. You could always, if they're 21, you can always bring their own alcohol. But if you're at the house and notice that, somebody's getting intoxicated, what do you have to? Some people take car keys away from minors when they come to their house. Then you got
that was my next thing.
What about a kidnapping charge? You call their parents. The parents are mad. Well, just leave them alone. We don't want to deal with them. So there's just that's a very good question. And you're very brave for doing it. But you might want to have some checking IDs. And then how do you know if it's a fake ID? You won't.
You won't. Mm-hmm.
But you could check IDs. But then you're not a cool parent. And so then you got to weigh being a cool parent against a smart parent.
Okay. I'll take smart every day.
I take smart too.
Yeah.
And and it also means being a parent and not being a buddy.
I take parent over buddy.
Parent over
300 Alex.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I know you're glad you asked this question.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it could be a problem.
Could be a problem.
But the one glitch in Georgia is that you got to show that you knew that they were going to drive.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay. All right. Another viewer question here. This is from Thomas S. in LaGrange. They would like to know from you, what's your opinion of the new gun law that Governor Brian Kemp signed in Georgia? Is there any way that you can, break it down a little bit to viewers?
My opinion is I sort of side with law enforcement on this, and it's not a good idea.
Okay.
From some of the articles I've read, in Georgia, I believe it was last year, 5,000 plus pistol permits were declined because people were either felons, had a mental disease or defect, or some other reason. And you're filling out a form and paying $75, which is not too much to ask to have somebody allow somebody to wear a pistol, concealed weapon. Right. I'm assuming they're still going to do some sort of checking on felony records and mental health or disease. At least that's my understanding. I don't know how they're going to do it. Because it's almost sounds like nothing's changed.
Right, right.
Except they don't give you a permit. I guess I don't know what they said, your clearance letter or what. So, but the whole thing apparently stems from people in the Second Amendment.
Right, that's it.
And worried that issuing a permit is a violation somehow or infringes upon our right to bear arms, which is the Second Amendment. I don't see it that way.
Okay.
But that's just me. I believe that we probably ought to have some kind of control over who's walking around with pistols. Now, a lot of people will argue, well, the bad people are going to get the guns anyway.
Anyway.
So the good people need to have them too. So when we have a shootout, it's a fair deal. And I'm not so sure. I don't disagree with that. Because if the bad people are going to have them, and they're going to have them,
true,
we need
them. The guy who did the subway shooting in New York, have you followed any of that? I think I heard where he went through all the proper channels to obtain his firearms, if that's correct or not. I think it is correct.
I did hear that. Yeah, you just never know when somebody's going to bust loose.
Exactly. And they've been busting loose quite a while. This stuff you just don't wake up one day and decide you want to do it. You've been thinking about this because it's a part of you.
Oh yeah.
If you feel that way.
Yeah. It's scary. That's why I don't like going to big crowds.
You the first somebody I thought about after this happened, because I know you.
I've always been a skirmisher. But like I said last week at church in Auburn, and interestingly enough, they moved their service this Easter Sunday, which we didn't get back time for. They moved it to the Coliseum in Auburn. They had 8,000 people.
Wow.
Well, when we went to the regular church building, which is part of a supermarket that's out of business that they took over, their building at a church, the Auburn Community College, I think it's called, not college, Auburn Community Church. Tons of college kids. It really is enlightening to see hundreds of thousands of college kids going to church at 9, 10 o'clock when they don't have to. They're off at college.
Exactly.
They don't. A lot of people take a break.
Right.
I didn't run down to the Methodist church that I, grew up in when I was in college. I took Sundays. I took a lot of Sundays off.
Yes. Yes.
And you got to get back to it once you get out of living the college life, if you survive it. But it was interesting when I did go there a couple of weeks ago, seeing law enforcement in the building, and that's kind of weird in the church because when I grew up in Lafayette at the Methodist Church, we didn't have a police officer standing at the front and the back door and sitting over on the pew with fully weapons loaded. But when you see that, it sort of reminds you there's a reason for that. So somebody might cut loose here in this crowd.
Because it's very what they call cold targets.
Yeah. It'd be hard to miss somebody if you just started shooting in there because it's packed. It's claustrophobic. There was so many people in there.
Like I said, just like the subway, and thankful, man, nobody was killed.
Yeah.
Because that's almost unheard of.
Absolutely. So.
And gun jamming and all that good stuff.
Yeah. But back to the original question, my opinion is I think there should be some sort of record of who gets weapons, just for safety purposes.
For safety. Okay.
I mean, it sounds like to me they're almost doing the exact same thing they were doing. You just don't get a permit. They check you for a felony. They check you for mental illness, or I guess you fill out a form and then they just say okay.
Okay.
I really don't. I guess what we're going to have to do is wait and see how it goes because all new laws have glitches because they don't come up. They can't answer every question that's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll stay on top of it.
Okay. We got about 4 minutes left. You want to go into the transgender treatment ban in Alabama, or you wanted to talk about the settlements?
Yeah, let's talk about the settlements.
Okay.
I don't understand the transgender. I still haven't figured it out. I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel so stupid.
I'm right along with you, man.
I was going like, what?
What?
So let's skip that right up. But we did do some settlements, list some settlements from other firms, not my firm.
Okay.
This attorney in Texas did a $1.8 billion opiate settlement for the state of Texas, along with the Attorney General's office and all.
1.8 billion.
1.8 billion was paid by some opiate producer, pain pills, to the state of Texas. I reckon they're gonna waste that money, do something good with it. I hope they do something good with it.
There's a lot to do some good with.
Since they got it, yeah. Then there was a $10 million settlement in a wrongful death murder case, which in Pennsylvania, which was the largest one they'd ever had like that.
Okay.
Then 3M, the company 3M, was recently hit by a $58 million verdict in earplug litigation, where they showed that the earplugs were faulty for the military and used in high-powered guns that make a lot of noise. It did not protect their ears. They still lost their hearing.
Man, I remember when that actually started.
Yeah.
So it's already come to fruition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you got me back to the transgender treatment. It's been challenged in a lawsuit in Alabama. 2 families with trans teens and 2 physicians sued the state to overturn a law that makes it a crime for doctors to provide gender-affirming care to minors. Okay.
Okay.
I can't give you an opinion. I don't know what that means.
Right.
But I'm sure we'll learn over the next year what all that means. Of course, Alabama Attorney General is suing Biden because the White House does not want to deport drug traffickers and aggravated felons who come here unlawfully.
Okay.
And let me tell you what's amazing about that. When I represent immigrants or people on visas in Auburn, we got a lot of folks that are on, come over here from China,
right.
India, that are on visas to teach and go to school and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They get a DUI, they get a little weed case, they get a reckless driving case. We're worried about them being thrown out of the country.
Right.
But these guys coming across the southern border, they won't even be deported. What are they doing? Okay. It's about time to close it down today.
Okay. All right. That's a conversation for another day. We may need to pick back up on that one the next time.
We
if
do.
you want to go there.
I get fired up about it.
Get fired up. All right, Trip. If they want to utilize your services,
they can call me at 334-321-3000 or go to www.waltonlaw.net or .com.
Thank you so much for watching. We enjoyed you spending this time with us. And keep those questions coming.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. They're great.
They're great philosopher.
That makes us think.
And we will see you next time. Y'all have a great day.
We don't start the fight, we finish it.
Car accident, DUI, wrongful death? Contact the Walton Law Firm, 334-321-3000.